start with some single leg hops. So starting with the lower body, keeping your hips square, making sure that kneecap does not go past those toes. Nice and controlled through the middle. And you can always modify, so you don't even have to jump. Just bringing that knee up with those lower abdominals. I'm going to come to the ground. We get a 10-second breather. All right, we're going to do some tricep dips. Just making sure that we keep the chest open and the shoulders are down the whole time. Very important. Bending those elbows straight behind you. Push those hips up to the ceiling to get some middle work, some glute work. All right, 10-second breather. We're going to go back to our hops. Same leg to burn it out. So we're doing the right leg first. And you can get as low as you want. You can touch the ground or keep it higher. And remember, use that modification if you need to. So just keep that foot planted. 10-second breather, and you can always work through the break. Back to our triceps, burning out our triceps today. If this is too much on your wrist, just grab some dumbbells and do some tricep presses. Wide collarbone the whole time, digging those heels into the mat. And 10-second breather, just really enough time to transition. We're going to go to the left leg now. Bending the knee, weight is in that left heel. Our modification, just keeping that left foot planted. Back down for those triceps. All right, so this is an advanced version. If you need more work, you can just lift that left leg. Still pressing those hips up to the ceiling. Very important to keep those shoulders out of our ears. Back on that left leg, burning it out. All right, back to our triceps. Last set of triceps. We're just going to switch legs. Controlling that leg, keeping the leg up with those glutes, with those abs, lifting from the pelvic floor. Almost done here. First Tabata is done. We're going to isolate those glutes next. All right, so we're going to start with a glute med exercise. You're on that right forearm, left palm is on the mat, lifting the left leg up. So just that fire hydrant move. And I don't want this coming from the low back. I don't want movement in the hips. Simply that left glute med lifting that leg up. Keeping that head in line with that spine. And we're pulsing. Good, very controlled. All right, we're going to add a kick here. So kicking out with control. And every time you kick, you're opening up and then going back center. All right, we're just lifting and lowering. Before we go to the other side, we're just going to burn out that back glute, that glute max. So left foot is down, right leg in tabletop, lifting and lowering, keeping our hip bones in the same plane. Nice and controlled, just pulsing now, small movements. Grounded from the shoulder girdle muscles, extend that right leg, lower and lift with control. So bringing that right leg back up with those lower abs. Pushing with that right glute. Good. All right, we're just going to go back to the fire hydrant move. So other side now. So that right leg lifting. Leg bone moving within that hip joint. You're going to feel this in that left leg now. That's okay. It was working really hard earlier. Pulsing. All right, we're going to add the kick. Controlled kick here. Feeling that right glute med, pull that leg up and kicking it out. Pulsing up and down with control. Very, very hard to keep control here. All right, we're going to go back to the hip lifts, the single leg hip lifts. And if at all you ever feel this in your knee, in your back, in your hips, just put that other foot down just like that. Hip bones in the same plane. Pulsing now, small movements up and down. All right, just dropping that left leg down and bringing it back up with those lower abdominals. Almost done. Good. Take a breather. All right, Tabata number 2. This is going to be on the ground. We're going to start with some plank jacks. So you can always modify this as well. You're just going to step out and step back in. And if this hurts your wrists, you can always go to your forearms. 20 seconds of each move and a 10-second breather, which you can always work through. All right, for our upper body, we're going to do some push-ups with a pulse. So with 3 pulses. So 3 pulses and up. Pulse, 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 and straight. Pushing away from that mat, making sure that butt goes with you, pulling up from those abdominals, lifting from that pelvic floor. Shoulders down your back. All right, we're going to go back to those plank jacks. Modify when you need to. If you just need to hold that plank, you can. Let's go ahead and begin. And if you don't want to do that, if that's too hard, just do some jumping jacks for your cardio. All right, we're going to back to those push-ups. And again, if this hurts your wrist, just hold your plank on your forearms. Good. So those 3 pulses at the bottom. Pulse, 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 and straight. 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 Little 10-second breather. Roll out those shoulders if you need to. All right, plank jacks here. You can also do mountain climbers if these are too tough. We're just trying to get into the lateral side of our body. Just hold a plank if you need to. Ten-second breather. Kind of fix my time here. 3 pulses and straight. 3, 2, 1, and up. 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 Little break. Rolling those shoulders out. All right, we're going to go back to those plank jacks. So making sure you have a soft knee when you jump out. That butt is down. Little break. All right, back to that upper body one last time here. Pulse, 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 and up. 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 Little breather. Rolling out those shoulders. All right, isolation number 2. So we're going to isolate those abs. We're going to start with that hip lift. So you're starting in neutral, lifting those hips, coming back down to neutral, making sure you don't overarch when you come down. Those abs are pulling those legs up. Extend those legs on the way down if you can, if you feel comfortable. Extending out with those lower abs and glutes. All right, so now we're going to extend up and down both ways. Very controlled, so controlling from the center. All right, so we're going to add a crunch here when we extend those legs. That is simply an option. If this hurts your neck, do not lift that chest. Lifting from the shoulder girdle muscles. Extend both legs. We're going to start to scissor. So again, if this hurts your neck, just lower back down. Just do the leg work. Keeping the hips square, keeping them neutral. Press that tailbone into the mat. A little breather. All right, back to tabletop. Lift and extend, going to our 100. So pumping those arms with control. Breathing deeply. Little break. Back to tabletop, lift. We're just going to go to those V's, starting to get into those obliques. Controlling out and in, out with the glute med, in with the inner thighs, pelvic floor. All right, let's get into those obliques, those external obliques to finish off, dropping the hips to the left. Just extend those legs, just hold it. That right shoulder is planted. All right, we're just going to start to crunch to the right. Pulsing. Little breather. We'll go to the other side. So drop to the right, extend the legs, just hold it. And you can lift the chest here if you want a bit of a challenge. All right, let's add that crunch. Full range to start off with, crunching to the left. Hips are dropped to the right. Pulsing, almost there. Push through.